Hello, what's up? I haven't uploaded for a while. I was taking a break. Taking a break. I feel like I just needed to just take a step back from Twitter, YouTube. Forever scrolling on TikTok and just watching the hours just fly by when I could be doing other things. So I've not really been doing anything apart from the generic working. This month's really busy. Got a lot of things coming up next month as well. Got my stag do in a week, so we're going to Benidorm, which I'm looking forward to. We're going there for 4 or 5 nights, and then getting married a couple of weeks after that. So there's a lot going on. Very busy at the moment with life. A lot of things happening. Just taking all the hours I can at work. Literally just getting one day off a week because I'm doing all this overtime just to try and get a bit of money in the pot. Finally going to go and pay our wedding off, the rest of the wedding off, on the 26th of April, which is a hefty chunk, but I'm just glad that it's all going to be paid and sorted. We also had to put our dog Ivy down, which was awful. I think, I only had a small time. I've only had like a couple of years, with Ivy, but I've never ever had any pets growing up, and I've never met a dog that had so much personality as she did. And it's weird. It's strange that she's not here. Usually she would be sat down there, sleeping, snoring, and fucking up the videos with the snore, massive snore. But I miss it. It's weird. I miss it. She used to sleep with us in the bed, snore like hell. I used to have to wear earplugs. That's just strange that she's not here. It's harder for Helen because Helen's had her since she was a puppy, and she's not doing very well. I'll be honest. You know, um, Usually we've got Helen's daughter coming to stay with us every. She went last Saturday. She goes to her dad's for a week, then she comes to us the following Saturday, and then she has a week with us, and that's the way it goes, like that, back and forth. But the dog used to go with her. Ivy used to go with her, and we'd get Ivy and Helen's daughter back every Saturday. And this week, Saturday just gone was, and I knew it was going to be hard for Helen because we only got Helen's daughter back, where we would be expecting to get the dog back. Last night I was on a late shift, so Helen was pretty much in the house on her own, and I think that was quite difficult for her as well because she's used to having. It's nice when you walk in the house and you've got a little thing, greeting you, wagging its tail, and it's happy to see you and stuff. Um, so yeah, I've kind of just sort of, I actually went in and it's the first time I've ever had to do that with an animal. I've never had any pets growing up, you know. Um, so to go in there, Helen's daughter didn't want to go in. Helen's ex-partner didn't want to go in. So she asked me if I would go in, and I was like, of course I will. But it was one of the worst, horrible things I've ever seen, uh, ever. Cried like a fucking baby, I'll be honest. So I took a break from social media. I really feel like it's kind of it's really helped in a way. I kind of feel like when you're living on social media and you're constantly on Twitter every day, getting into these silly conversations about brand loyalty and which console's better than which, and you know which corporations doing things better than the other. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. I have sort of come back. I kind of I came back to it yesterday. Just had a bit of a scroll on Twitter, and I was sort of like, it just never changes. It just never changes. And I think I've been watching a lot of TV programs. I don't really get a chance to watch TV stuff, but I watched the new Fallout TV show, which just came out of nowhere. And I've never really been into Fallout. I'll be honest. I've got Fallout 3. I've got Fallout New Vegas. I've got them on Game Pass, but I've also got them on PlayStation. I've got Fallout 4. Bought Fallout 4 when that released on PlayStation. Got all the DLC, the season pass. Never played it. Never played it. So I watched the TV show, and I was just blown away by it. I couldn't believe how good it was. I wasn't expecting it to be that violent because the games aren't violent. You know, you are shooting things and stuff, but the how graphic the TV show was, I was really surprised, and I feel like that's what was missing in the Last of Us TV show that was on Sky. I really feel like, although I enjoyed the Last of Us TV show, the games are so violent and dark. You know, I was really expecting that to be more of a thing through, you know, HBO and, you know, being made by HBO and stuff, because HBO are usually quite gory with like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and stuff. But the Last of Us TV show, while I enjoyed it, I did feel like it was really missing a lot of the violence and the gore and the graphic dark side of like surviving and stuff. So Fallout was just like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how gory it was. You know, when they're getting you know, the start. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's a bit at the start where things happen and there's people getting forks in the eyes and, you know, sawn off, and just people blown up, body parts flying off, and, you know, limbs getting chopped off, and it was just crazy. Really good story. Really enjoyed it. We finished it last night. We watched it in 2 sittings. We did 4 episodes and then another 4. But I was blown away by it, and it's actually made me want to play the game, which is kind of nice. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the moment. I'm enjoying that, but it's huge, massive open world. I know Fallout is as well, but I really want to play Fallout. I don't know where to start really. I don't know if I should play Fallout 3 and then go to 4. I know Fallout 4 is getting a PlayStation 5 update, and I've got all the DLC on PlayStation 5. I haven't on the Game Pass, so I'll probably play it on PlayStation. But yeah, I really enjoyed the TV show. I was really, really surprised how true it was to the game. You know, the set designs, the Pip-Boy, the costumes. You know, the enemies that you encounter in the game. They've not all been revealed. Obviously, there's more bigger enemies, you know, throughout the game, and I think they're just going to drip feed them. But I really loved the story. I thought the story was great. The Brotherhood of Steel. The Ghoul, I thought he was a great character. The main character, Lucy, I thought she was a great character. You know, you had the dog in there as well, the monsters. I thought it was really, really great. Really impressed, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. And I'm glad that they released it all in one go. I hate it when, I don't hate it. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate anything. But I dislike it when you get drip fed. You know, 1 week. You know, just get it all out. You know, we've all got busy lives. We can just watch it when we want, you know. So I really liked it, and it's already been greenlit for a season 2, which I'm looking forward to. Set it up. It really ended really well as well. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm assuming the bit at the end is part of a different game. But then I went on Twitter. Good old Twitter. And, you know, there's a new law for gamers when you're using TV shows to console war. I really feel like that is a new depth of insecurity and sadness for video games and for gamers. You know, seeing people that are pro Xbox and try to use that as it's an Xbox program. You know, there's no mention of the Xbox logo in there. You know, Fallout was an established franchise before the acquisition. This will massively help Bethesda. You know, there's a massive resurgence in Fallout 76 at the moment, which I've never played again. A lot of people playing Fallout 1 and 2 through Game Pass, you know, revisiting New Vegas, revisiting Fallout 3, revisiting Fallout 4. People like me who want to get into the franchise. I've more been a bit of a Skyrim person myself, but I'm willing to give. I think I'm going to start with Fallout 4. I know the update's coming out in a couple of days. I might do a little bit of a playthrough of it and just see my impressions of the game. But to use it as ammunition to console war is a new law. I feel, you know. The Last of Us is a PlayStation exclusive, obviously. And I suppose Fallout is to an extent. I'm assuming the next Fallout, which is coming out, Fallout 5 is coming out after the next Elder Scrolls, so it's years away, years away. But currently, you can play every Fallout game anywhere. Do you know what I mean? But seeing people use it as like, oh, it's better than The Last of Us, and it is, in my opinion. The Fallout TV show is better than The Last of Us. I enjoyed it more. That's just my opinion. Um, but to use it as like, oh, this is better than the PlayStation, and to just sort of try and spin it like it's kind of it's benefiting Xbox in any way when it's really not. But I've said to myself when I do sort of when I'm going to start coming onto Twitter a bit more, I'm going to really start using that mute button. And that was some advice that I was listening to on a podcast that was just saying you don't have to block these people, because that opens up other things and people get a bit sketchy if you block people. Well, what have I done to this person? It's not necessarily what you've done; it's the shit that you're spouting. So the mute button is getting heavily used. I think if it's something that's sort of console war-y and petty and sad, then it will be. I'll just be muting it because I can't be asked. I just can't be bothered with all that shit. I do not understand the console war thing anymore. I really don't understand it at all. I think there is more to life than arguing about which plastic box is better than the other plastic box on the market. I really feel like if you are serious about gaming, then you should have a PlayStation, Xbox, and a Nintendo, or a PlayStation, Nintendo, and a PC. To get Game Pass or whatever. Even the whole thing with Sea of Thieves coming in a few days to PlayStation, Grounded's just come out on Nintendo and PlayStation, and you've got these diehard Xbox people that are just using that as this ammunition. I saw one person saying that they took a screenshot of the PlayStation Store at the moment, and there's a dedicated Fallout page where you just click on it says Fallout, you click on it, and it just takes you into everything that you can play Fallout wise. And I think there's Fallout 4, Fallout Shelter, and 76. And people are saying things like, how embarrassing that they've got a dedicated Xbox page on PlayStation. And I just sort of feel like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? If it's a good game, and this TV show is going to pique people's interests in the game that they may or may not have experienced or heard about, and it's going to generate more of an interest in that franchise, why is that a bad thing for Xbox? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. And it's a real sort of insecurity thing, I feel. I just don't understand the mindset anymore. I truly believe that it's something you eventually grow out of. I do not. I couldn't imagine myself not owning. So when the PS6 comes out and the next Xbox, of course I'm going to buy both. Why wouldn't I buy both? Why would I just lock myself off to one and not the other? And don't get me wrong, growing up, I've done the whole console war thing. I was massively a Nintendo kid. And it was like, oh, Sega's shit, Nintendo's amazing. That's playground stuff. But that's still happening. It's still happening. And these people are adults. I'm 39 this year. I actually have my birthday when I'm on my stag do, so it's a double whammy. Second time, 2 birthdays in a row I'll be abroad for. But to just have this sort of, like, I just don't get it. I really don't understand it. I don't understand it. And it's really boring. It's really, really boring. I've also, when you're not on Twitter and you're seeing these things and you're seeing people throwing mud at Stellar Blade that's coming out, because that's a PlayStation exclusive, and then you've got, just the highly sexualized character, and she's her boobs just move when she's standing still. It's just crazy. It's petty. It's very nitpicky. I don't understand, and I feel like the time that I've been away, I've been off been off it for 2 weeks. I know that's not a long time, but it really is, you know. And I'm being out of the conversation and being sort of ignorant about it all is great. Do you know what I mean? You can just enjoy the hobby for what it is, and that's just a pleasant waste of time, you know, because that's what gaming is. People say it's a waste of time. It is a waste of time. Any hobby is a waste of time. A hobby is something that you use to fill in your time. John Lennon said, "The time you enjoy wasting isn't wasted time." You know, gaming is a waste of time. You can sit there and play a video game for 6 hours, and you have wasted 6 hours, but it's 6 hours that you've enjoyed wasting in a world. You know, I look at video games as like playable films, playable movies. You know, it's escapism. So I just don't understand, and it's never going to change. And and if it's not going to change, then I've got to change, and I've got to be for my own sanity, because I'm the one looking at the screen on YouTube, TikTok, social media, you know, Twitter or whatever. I need to police my social media better, because there's so many times where I've read something from Clint Eastwood or something, and it's just it's struck a nerve. Or not just Clint Eastwood. I don't want to sort of single people out. There's a lot of people out there that are like him, you know. But it triggers you in a way where I kind of I type a response and then delete it, and I feel like I'm not going to give the satisfaction, because a lot of these people that are tweeting out this sort of stuff want a reaction. They want a reaction. They want to bait people. They want to get that sort of viewership. They want to be controversial. They want to create as much. They want to whip people up into a frenzy and get the most replies and, you know, retweets and likes and, you know arguments in the thread. So I'm not rising to it, and I don't think anyone else should. I feel like, you know, just play what you want to play on wherever you want to play it, and just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, regardless of platform, corporation, or anything. Obviously, I haven't made a video for ages. This is the first one for a while. I haven't really done a tier list Tuesday. I've got one that I'm editing, but it's just like trying to fit it in around work. I don't really necessarily take this seriously. And I also sort of don't really want to take it seriously in a way. It makes me sort of, when you see people that are that, you know, they get a sort of influx in sort of popularity or whatever, and they get the 15 minutes of fame, or they get an influx of subscribers and people commenting, you know, be careful what you wish for in a way, because, you know, if you're getting all this attention, not all of it's going to be positive. So I almost kind of like just dipping in and making a little video like this and just having a bit of a conversation about something and dipping out and forgetting it for a couple of weeks. You know, so I suppose I'll carry on doing the tier lists. But it's just the editing. It's the fucking editing, the video. I preferred it when I was recording on a phone, recording on a mobile. And I just did it in one take, and that was it. Uploaded, boom, done. But now I'm doing these, and it's good that I can edit and cut away when I'm going, because I do that a lot. But you've got to record the video, and then you've got to sit there for fucking 2 hours editing the bastard, and then uploading it. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. You know, you've really got to want to you've got to have the time to do this. You've got to have somebody who, you know, if you're in a relationship, you have to have somebody who's very understanding for you to want to do this. I would much rather sit downstairs with Helen and watch a TV program together and have a bit of a cuddle on the sofa. And, you know, I genuinely play video games when she's at work. Like Tuesday, Wednesday this week, I'm off 2 days back to back. Can't wait. And I'm just looking forward to getting up in the morning, saying ta-ra to her for work, sending her out. She didn't come back till 5 o'clock, and just having a full day to myself playing something or getting really into a video game. But I do enjoy streaming, not streaming, but I like to do playthroughs and stuff. There's just not really. I find at the moment I'm going through a bit of a lull, and I think that's why I did take a break. I've took a break from gaming as well. Don't get me wrong. You know, nothing's holding my attention. And I feel like once you take a step back and you take a bit of a break from it, I was like, the other day I was like, I really fancy playing something. like Assassin's Creedish sort of something like that, and then started playing Valhalla, and I'm really really enjoying it. But I'm quite good at not giving into FOMO anymore. And buying games just for the sake of it, and just being like, well, because that's another thing. It's like a vicious circle. When you're on Twitter and you're living on Twitter and you're seeing everybody playing Grounded or the early access to Sea of Thieves, somewhere in your subconscious you think you're missing out, and therefore you've got to buy it as well. So that's also sort of helped taking a break from social media, because I'm not in these conversations where people are saying, what do you think about this? I'm just playing this. And I don't understand where people get the money from. I'll be honest. Like how people are playing every single release at launch. I don't feel like you don't have to touch every single video game to be part of the fucking community. And I feel like that's another thing where I'm playing things in my backlog. I'm playing Dead Island 2, but I've put that down because I'm kind of stuck on a boss, and it just took the fun out of it. I'm kind of dipping in and being like, seeing what sticks, but I don't feel like I'm on Twitter and I'm going, oh, well, everyone's playing The Last of Us 2 or everyone's playing Fallout, I'm going to jump into that. You know what I mean? It's on my own merit, rather than, watching that Fallout TV show was really kind of, it just made me sort of like, I really want to try this franchise. You know what I mean? But it's not because of everyone else on Twitter, because Fallout's a heavy conversation on Twitter at the moment because of the TV show, and that's even more of a reason why I want to stay off it, because people are just panning it, and because it's part of Xbox or whatever, and people are panning it because it's on PlayStation, and it's just exhausting. So I will continue to make videos, but it's just as and when. And I keep saying this, and if there's anyone that watches my videos and subscribes and enjoys my content, it is relaxed. It's not me. I've got to watch the next state of play and talk about it, because 90% of the time I'm fucking out at work or whatever. But yeah, I mean, taking a break was good. I just feel like I don't want to directly come straight back to it and be like, totally plug myself back into the fucking matrix and be like, let's go on Twitter for fucking 2 hours and get into all these pointless fucking conversations and arguments with people. So I'm coming back slowly. I don't think I'm just going to be right straight back into it, because it really just exhausted me. So that's the video, I guess. Not really a lot that I'm looking forward to this year, if I'm being honest, video game wise. I was looking through the what's coming, and I've played Sea of Thieves a lot on Xbox. I don't really see the point in buying it on PlayStation. I've got Pentiment. I bought that because I've never played it, even though that was on Game Pass as well. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm sort of rambling at the moment now. So all's well. Just very busy at the moment. So hope you're all playing, what you want to play, and obviously try and be nice to each other. We'll see you again for another one.